Hey, welcome back, everybody, to some comics and books. Hey, Brandon, are you there?
I am here.
All right, today we're going to talk about Canari by Carlos Meglia, a writer named Crease. I don't know Crease, but I know Suarez Crease, but Carlos Meglia. Brandon, do you have ever heard of Carlos Meglia?
Only through you.
Only through me, all right.
Only through you.
Let me explain really quick backdrop. Little quick, I'm just going to read the Wikipedia to you, right? Because I'm not the biggest expert on the life of Carlos Meglia. Sadly, in America, his name is not as known as it should be. I believe it should be way more known. And for me, he's probably like, he's definitely within my top five and most influential. Like, he influenced me artistically as much as anyone else in this world. Um, and I believe that he also influenced a lot of other artists, from Humberto Ramos, Joe Madureira, Scotty Young, John Samavaria, or you may know him as Red J. Many artists he influenced. Give you a quick summary. He was born December 11th, 1957, and unfortunately passed away August 15th, 2008, at the age of 50 from a heart attack.
Oh wow.
Horrible. Young guy. I'm like, oh no, five years away, Brandon.
Oh
No,
shit.
no. And he's done way more with his life than I read. But he started his illustration career professionally around 1974. Really in Argentina. He's really big in art. That's where he's from. He's from Argentina, and that's where he kind of got his break. He comes to America. He does a bunch of shit over there, but comes to America in 1984 at Hanna-Barbera Studios. Worked on the
Oh wow.
Smurfs, the Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, the animated film The Magic Pumpkin, which I haven't seen, but I should definitely look that one up. And then in 1991, he starts a comic book called Cyber Six. Cyber Six, very influential on artists. Matter of fact, I actually believe the way the coat works. She has this coat in
hmm
Cyber Six. I think that was influential on McFarlane's capes. Like, honestly, I can't prove it,
Okay.
but I believe. I'm too chicken shit to ask him. I kind of know, but I'm like, I don't want to bring that one up. So
Yeah.
you know, but what I would recommend is in 1999, Cyber Six became an animated series. They did like 6 or 9 episodes or something like that. I have them all, but you can watch them on YouTube. It's brilliant, and what's really brilliant about it is they animated it in his art style, which you don't
Oh,
get
okay.
much anymore. Now it's like you get the fucking generic Warner Brothers art style, or you get the bean mouth Cal Arts look. You know, like remember when they used to do every cartoon had its own look, and now it's like one
Yes.
look for all cartoons. Yeah,
hmm
whatever. And how I came to know his work was he did this Star Wars miniseries in Star Wars Underworld. It has a weird name called the Yaslivians. Blah, 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 blah. We'll go over it sometime, but it's my favorite Star Wars artistic book ever. Then he did DC Superman Tarzan crossover, which was brilliantly drawn. He did an issue Crimson, not my favorite issue Crimson, but it ever seems to me like every time Wildstorm picked him up for a little bit, and every time he came over to the States to do something, like they never like really put him on something that really showcased his abilities. Like they always put him on weird shit. So like Wildcats, it's brilliantly drawn, but there's no Wildcats drawn in the issue. Like they didn't write him in. They wrote a bunch of I don't know. It's fucking weird. It's greatly drawn stuff, but it's like just give him the fucking team.
Right.
So it was weird. But he did illustrate another book called Monster World, which we're definitely gonna go through sometime, which I love artistically. Writing wise, it's simplistic, but the art is brilliant. And then he did Superman. What was that called? Superman. uh, He did a Superman book that's brilliant, and it looks exactly like an animated movie on paper, but he drew and colored it all. And so we'll get to that. Infinite City is what it's called, and we'll get to that at some point. But I'm bringing up Canari first because this is his last or next to last published work. There's 2 tomes. This is tome 1. And not a lot of people know what this book is, Brandon. But if you look at the
Never heard of it.
cover, does this not look like a scene from an animated film?
Oh, without a doubt. Like
Right.
it's it's awesome. It looks cool. And as far as you saying influence on other artists, like you look at just this piece, and I see like I don't know why, like Joe Quesada, Huberto Ramos, even like you said, McFarlane or Capullo, the way like the hair is like soft but then sharp, you know, certain things like you see that in different artists' work. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I
definitely
mean, he worked
cool.
at Disney and stuff. He did a lot of stuff, and so let me I want to use. We're gonna try something a little different this time, so I can zoom in. I'm gonna bring the camera kind of zoom in and out so you can see some of the details, folks. Right, and then I'm gonna adjust the focus. Let me see, so I can get the focus. Oh, so the focus down there is pretty good. So, but like, what's cool? Let me tell you something about this. So this background right here, right? Here's how crazy this is. This background is actually hand painted acrylics, right?
Okay.
He painted this, but the characters, it's just the pencils and then colored digitally like cell shade.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then these clouds, this is a Photoshop like paint over filter, like you
Uh,
know, yeah. So like true mixed media, right? Like true like a blending of just like different techniques to get what
which
you
gives
want.
you a
So
nice balance of hard and soft, with the focus.
oh, you want to see the balance of hard and soft? This opening image right here, I'm going to show you this. Wait, this blew me away when I saw this. Right? You ready for this?
Do it. What the
Look at this. Look at this, dude. He did
Wow.
this all on canvas. This is actual. Look, you got to come in.
Right, you can see all the
you gotta,
textures and the
yeah,
dips from the
yeah,
canvas.
yeah. Let me see if I have to. Let me get that.
There you go.
Just,
Look at that. Right there.
it's about. I have to manually. Come on, you little bastard.
If I was
There you
there, I'd
go.
work the camera, everybody.
No, you have to do it in software, unfortunately. But like, so this is line art, right? Cell
Yeah.
shaded. But look at this. Look at the canvas, the smears, the like little chalk or the white, whatever
Yeah.
the fuck he used there, right? Probably pastel or oil pastel. Like, look at this. And then some digital right over to get like kind of that bokeh feel.
I love it because it's beautiful. I hate that it's better than anything I've ever made.
Yeah, or will. Or will,
Yes.
Brandon. I'm willing
Yeah.
to say or will, right? And to
It's
be fair, better than any of us probably ever will. Carlos Meglia was a true master at illustration. And unfortunately, and not much has changed in this country. When you draw cartoons or animated, they think you're a fucking idiot or something. Like I don't know. They're like, oh, you can't draw. It's cartoons. Like so frustrating because this is a goddamn work of art. Like blows me away.
Yes.
Every time I pop this sucker open. So let's dig on through here, right? Look at that. Look at that. Right.
Yeah.
Might get some more. So then we're gonna go to the very first one here, and we're gonna just zoom in a little bit. Like, let's see if I can adjust some focus. It's the best it wants to do, Brandon. Not much I can do there. But like, look at this. Like, look at this.
The
Look at this.
shapes.
Yeah, and this right here is hand painted. This is
Yeah.
actually. I know. Like, I've dug through, like his process, but like so like I was like, is that digital? No, that's actual hand painted shit with digital backgrounds as well, like the skies and stuff. But then the characters, like, it's so good, dude. Like look at this. Yeah, this is page 1, dude. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine? Like, look, if this were like a scene from like an Aquaman fucking thing or something, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's such a cool. It's cool because the backgrounds have such a nice softness, but then the characters have such a nice cell shaded anime kind of coloring look to it, where it's not super harsh, where it's like so
Well,
stark contrast. It
he
hurts your
color
eyes, but it's
holds
good.
all the lines, Brandon. And so these were pencil like a 4H or a 2H, But then he had to go in and trap all the lines, like you lock transparency and color they're all colored.
Yeah.
It's fucking look at this, folks. Look, if you can't appreciate this, I don't want to know you. Unsubscribe now. Go somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah, go look up and tell me how great. I'm not gonna throw artists under the bus. You know who your favorite artist. Go fucking follow them. This is fucking dope. Brandon. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this. Like, let's get that right the fuck on there. See if I can. Let's see if. Look,
There
maybe
we
I can
go.
just. I know. It's like so minute. Look at
There it is.
Look at
There
that.
it is.
Look at this. Look at this.
So So he painted in the restaurant, the rails, and then drew in the car digitally.
The
I'm
cars,
guessing.
well, the car's drawn either on board or
Drawn
separate
pens.
and then put in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And this like lettering's digital, but then the glow, he's added some lighting, right? And the
Yeah, yeah,
clouds,
yeah.
that's digital. Yeah, yeah. But look at this.
I wonder how long it took him just to paint one
Not long.
panel
The
like
guy
that.
the guy worked at Disney. Not long. You know.
Oh yeah, so it's a turnaround
And
time is
he'd
quick.
been painting since the 70s. So he did this in 2005. So he'd been painting for 30 fucking 40 years. This dude,
Oh,
he's so
jeez.
good. Yeah. 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 I'm not even going to be alive probably in 30 years, just statistically speaking, like so my wife doesn't like me saying that, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm doing the math. Like, I
I
don't know.
mean,
But
dibs on this book when you go, if you don't mind.
oh, it's going in the coffin. Sorry. It's going right in there. But like okay, so let's like look at this. Look at this, dude. Like for all the like now it is possible that these flowers he did like you can do an offset texture thing because he
Mhm.
always does some tricks and shit. I believe that's probably an offset texture. So you take a pattern, you create like a little map, and in Photoshop you can do an offset, and it can kind of like off. We can use the shade and kind of warp things.
Yeah.
Older trick, but it does check out. And I believe that because like that right there isn't drawn, but fucking look at all this is so fucking good, dude. Cartoons today don't look this good.
No. And I love
No,
how
show me a fucking these these DC animated films everyone tells you is fucking so good. Show me one
yeah,
that looks as good as this.
none.
I'll wait. Let me see here. Look at that. Look at her, dude.
Yeah. I like he's the expressions of just like the nervous, the scared, like oh shit, like every character is displaying emotions and just gestures that just
He loves to do
he's
these
walking.
things too. Hold on, he likes to do these framing things where he'll draw like a square around something, and then in the
Uh,
same frame have the character just over here, and it feels like it's two panels, but
yeah.
it's one. Yeah, yeah.
I would have never I would never think to do that. If you
Nope.
didn't show me this now, I wouldn't think like, oh, why not just draw the whole scene, the whole background once, like like you said, like a cartoon, and he starts here on the first piece, then he ends up there, and it doesn't need to say anything. It didn't need two panels. It didn't need to be split. It just that he starts there and he ends there.
Yeah. So like here, I think like he duplicated this face just to fill this weird gap. I don't know why. Probably some text would have worked there. I personally think like this is one of those things where it should have just been like one long panel with the open sky out to the ocean, and he could have had
Uh,
his words over it or something. But I can't talk to him about that now because he's in another dimension. But
yeah,
like fucking dude, like this looks better than Atlantis. Like the Atlantis.
yes,
Yeah, it's like the best version of Atlantis. The Atlantis
that's
film.
and it does remind me of that a lot
Yeah,
too.
he probably worked on it. I don't know because I know he did Disney. Look, Brandon, hold on. Look at this fucking thing right here. Look at this. Hey, Brandon,
Yeah,
you enjoying the video so far?
always
Well, did you know I have a YouTube channel with like 1,000 other videos?
1,000.
Like, sadly so, I think. I just wanted to
That's a
remind
lot.
I just wanted to remind everyone out there watching the show. Just if you check out the rest of the Sketchcraft channel, you can see that I got art. I do art. I got art tips. We got speed vids with audio commentary. I walk through my art. If you do color pencil, if you do watercolor, you do pen and ink, you do digital. I got it all. I got art tips, right? I got like perspective, digital inking tips. I also have 1,000 real-time live streams. So if you ever see me working on something and you're like, hey, how did I let's go check this out, Brandon. Let's go see me.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's me recently doing the Apocalypse Commission, right? Doing a little marker rendering here.
All right.
Right?
All right.
It's a little inking going on there. You can see me inking, right? I think you were there that night.
I was there.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were there.
actually I was chatting with you.
Yeah. So you can always come back and go, how did you, I want to do that. How did he do it? And you can see right in real time, if you can dig in there. Now, Brandon, we don't expect everyone to watch these videos all the way through for hours and hours, but it is a free resource just sitting there waiting to be discovered, right, Brandon?
If it's free, it's for me. That's what I say.
Right. Also, Brandon and I, for years we did a podcast. I want to say like 4 or 5 years All those are in there too. If you ever want to hear Brandon and I just wax poetic about whatever. And then I also did a podcast from 2010 to 2014 with tons of like career help things. So if you're like, Rob, I need some career guidance and help and I don't know, all that other bullshit, go check that out there because
Yes.
I don't really like helping people anymore. Right, Brandon?
Not at all.
Not at all. Is there anything that you appreciate on the old
I appreciate that there's 1,000 of it and it's free, that I don't have to pay for it, I don't have to do anything crazy, that it's all here. And if I want to be like, hey man, how do I use a Copic marker? Bam. How do I use some watercolor? Bam.
I'm not against giving me money, so right here, right at the top, you can click that little link, go to ko-fi.com/sketchcraft, give me some money, I'll go buy a coffee.
Ooh.
Or if you go to shopsketchcraft.com, you can buy a print when I have them up. Right now, the store is closed for the winter, but in spring, we'll open back up and we'll have prints in there. You can get all that stuff, right? But other than that, go check out the YouTube channel. All right, Brandon, let's get back to the show.
Let's go.
Let me see if I can just focus that back in a little bit. Hold on. I'll get it. Got a focus pull. There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Got that cool little cell eagle, but this is all paint. It's all fucking real acrylics. Water's digital, sky's digital. But this is, yeah. I had to have this.
Oh yeah, I wonder how much pre-planning he does, where he's like, oh, in this panel I'm gonna paint, and then draw. I mean, I wonder how much like the process of like deciding.
The only person who might know is Mike S. Kennedy, who wrote Superman Infinite City. And apparently they were trying to plan a Batman book and he put up a frame from it, on Carlos's page after he passed away. But like it never got done. Mike might be the only one who knows his process. But there's a couple like Carlos Meglia videos that he's in interviews, but they're all like in Portuguese or Argentina, whatever they speak in Argentina. Like I can't understand any fucking thing he's saying. So like someone out there knows, can point it out or translate it, it'd be great. But like, I'd love to know, There's my dude. Look at this dude, man. Look at this. But this is one of those things, man, where like, he has to color all this because if you hand it to a colorist, like, you have to pray that they're up for this kind of pain too, right? Like, most of them are just, colorists, unfortunately, man, especially today, given that colorists do like half the book, I feel, right?
Oh yeah.
That like the rate should be half artist, half colorist. I know, like as a penciler, people like don't say that. I think so, but I just think everyone should get paid more. But I always say they should get paid more. But like, yeah, he did it all himself. So I mean, he's doing all this, dude. Like, look at the little soft work on the hair and shit, So it's got that soft blending.
And then they got to also try to match whatever he's painting too. Like can't be like some crazy. If it was another colorist, they couldn't do like some off the wall colors that wouldn't line up with his painting colors.
I'll tell you right now what colors won't do. They're not trapping all these lines.
Oh, not at all.
These color hold lines. I've done this myself. I love the look. But I can tell you it's tedious. It takes forever. It takes a long time,
I mean, so, like, I'm not to your level and I'm definitely not this level, but I've been coloring another artist that we know is art, and I'm doing a lot of the work doing the colors, shapes and things, but I'm not going to trap lines and go in and do that. Not a chance.
We'll zoom back in on some bigger pages, but I want to get through like some more stuff. So like he's got this whole, I couldn't tell you what the story is because it's in another language. I can't, maybe one day my phone will read it to me, but like one of the things that he did that I really love is like, look at this fucking shit right here. Look at this. Like he actually just blurred the water. No one does that. They should though, right?
Yeah.
Like he drew the wavy so you could see under the surface, right? And he colored under the surface so it's darker, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's lighter. But then here it's blurred. Now that's a simple technique, but who does? No one's doing that. Like look, when she's in the water, she's actually fucking distorted out, right? And blurred out.
Yeah.
Like look at that.
It doesn't make it so like when he does that, you can tell like she's floating in the water, as to where if you didn't blur that out, or I mean, part of her's in the water, you didn't blur that out, she would just look floating, it would look The way he does it adds
Or
depth.
they would take a line and then maybe color it like a dark teal blue or a lighter teal blue or something, you know. But
Yeah.
he didn't do that. Like, and like there's actually, I don't know if you can see it here, but like it's a little hard because of the fucking harsh ass lighting. Like I've tried everything I can in the room, folks, to get the lighting better, but this is the best I can do. So like you can sort of see here, there's like the way he did the water, whether it's like a digital, whether it's a photo or digital painting or whatever he did, but like because it looks like some of these are like paint daubs, but it's speckled. It's not a flat color. It's
Okay.
got little like speckles of like daubs of little paint, you know? And like water has that, it has that reflectivity and it has that like speckleness, right? Because there's fucking gunk and algae and all sorts of shit in there and water's in it, but it's beautiful. Like, man, you imagine if this guy had lived long enough to do like an Avatar comic, how it looked like the fucking Avatar animated
Oh, it'd be
film. Like, yeah,
insane.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're the only hope now, Rob, to do that. You got to step up.
Fuck you.
You got to step up and do it.
I'm not good enough
Yet.
yet. Like right before I die, I get good.
Yes,
But
yes.
I just love all this architecture, all these statues, and like so like there's this thing, and because he got started in the 70s, I'll point this out. Like Richard Corbin and a lot of the cats that came out of the 70s, when they would paint water or lagoon-like scenes, there would be like this weird aquatic teal brown greenish thing to their palette. It comes right out of the 70s and kind of goes away like by the 90s. Like now when people draw water or paint water, like it's blue.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're assholes. But like non-creative bastards. But that this he has that perfect green brown earthy, it's alive but wet, and it has like that reflects blue, so there's these little blue spots reflecting from the sky because it's wet. If it was wet, it would reflect the sky. So he's putting little bits of blue. That goes beyond like what you see at DC or Marvel coloring, you know? Like they're not, it's not happening. So hard to see here because of the lighting, but this actual fog, it actually is like green yellow. Like it has green, like lime greens in it. It's super
Yeah.
fucking good, dude.
It just gives a cool ambiance.
Like this cave bit right here, like this little cave right here, where they're coming out the cave entrance.
Uh-huh.
Could you imagine? Hold on, because he did a Star Wars thing that he didn't color. Someone else did. Could you imagine that being like Jabba's palace? You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? Yeah. Ah, dude, I love this dude's work. I love this
Oh,
dude's
yeah.
work. I get excited anytime I'm like, I know, Brandon. Anytime I'm like, why? What's it all for? This art thing? Why? Who cares? You know? I'm like, this guy's gone, but look at this. It's still here, and I'm still getting like fucking blown away every time I look at it.
Well,
You
I mean,
know?
I could definitely see his influence on your art. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why he didn't take off over here was the faces. I love his faces, but I think, especially like in the late 90s, early 2000s,
Uh-huh.
bro, they weren't dealing with stylized faces in comics. I'm just telling you right now. They weren't,
Yeah.
you know? Should have. I don't know why, but
Well, I feel
I
like
think
too.
Hmm?
I was gonna say, people now, like if you look at this style now, people are like, oh, that looks like manga or anime. They wouldn't think that it's just a cool
Yeah, as
style.
if, or they wouldn't think that other countries animate, you
Yeah.
know? Like it must be America or Japan. Like, no, that's not true.
Right.
You know, every country has its own animation industry, and Argentina and South America have brilliant cartoonists, as good as the French. I think the French cartoonists are the best in the world, and I'd say South American cartoonists they're like right there. You know, like
Bold statement from Rob.
bold statement. I'm putting it out there. I fucking love your guys' work. You know, you want to see a great illustrator who's a cartoony but does like realistic stuff too, man, is Omar Francia. Go look up Omar's work. Brilliant illustrator. Totally different than this. He's got his own thing. But like
Uh,
he can do everything, dude. Omar can do 3D. He can paint. He can do acrylic gouache. He can do cartoony. He can do realistic. He's on Star Wars comics and shit. Omar is just a brilliant illustrator. Too good.
I like on these two pages the juxtapose. So you got on the left, you have the tan with the reds that's very prominent, the red on
Yeah.
that guy's head, and then on the page to the right you
You
have the
go out,
blues.
because you go outside, right? And it's
Yes,
being lit.
it's
Yeah. So
it.
this is the interior, and then the exterior is being
I
lit.
like that. It's such a good contrast of like inside to outside. Like,
And look, he reuses paintings and backgrounds. When he goes back here, it's this. See, so
uh,
he's like, he is reusing stuff, but he's using it smart, dude. You know, like that. Why repaint it? You know,
well,
but it's
yeah, all right.
extended out. Like here, it's like got like here, it's got like water, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. But then here, he extends this out with a foreground plate. Like he's painted this separately and put it above it, right? Put it in
Yeah.
front. He's layered it in digitally. So it is this, and we're only 20 pages in, man. And like you could pull you could pull a panel out of here and just spend a week trying to like recreate it. So like this trunk, he's painted this, but he's using it here, right? He's reusing it.
Right.
You know, he reuses pieces, but in the same way that an animated film would reuse a backdrop. They're
Yeah,
like
I was
creating
gonna.
so many backdrops. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could definitely tell animation background because like earlier where I said he just took one long panel and drew the character on there twice digitally. It's so smart to just make that
And
happen.
also, and this is me. I know, like, I follow a lot of like letterists, you know, on Twitter and stuff, dude, and like the Comixology dudes and the Blambot dudes. They all got their own like rules of typography, you know,
Uh-huh.
and look, it's all fine and good. But I freaking love when other countries letter shit. American lettering to me is the least interesting fucking lettering on the planet. You know, unless you get to indie comics, I'm not tolerating his behavior, but Dave Sims' lettering on Cerebus is a masterpiece in lettering, right? We can all
Yeah,
agree, right? The lettering's
right.
great. The guy's a fucking asshole, but the lettering's brilliant. Look how it just cuts out of the box right here. And even when it goes over, like he's not using ovals. Why are we stuck with ovals in this country? You know why? And they all go, it has to be a perfect oval. Look how much space it would take up if these were ovals.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, but you can't have these things touching the edge of the box. Who the fuck cares? Like, you know who doesn't care? Manga readers, because we just read the shit. And they go, well, it's
Yeah.
bad lettering. Not every look, it's bad lettering if you can't read it. This looks all legible to me, you
Right.
know? Sorry. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Look at this panther. Look at that panther. You ever own a cat, Brandon? I've gotten that look.
Yeah.
That look. I don't know if it wants to. Oh, it's so fine. It's like,
And every character's got its own little personality on every little character on
come
top of
on,
them.
you little bastard. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Painted cat right there. It's so good.
Yeah, that's dope.
So good. It's like the best version of that Tarzan bit that they were doing at Disney, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I was seeing pages of this when he was first working on it, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, how the frick do I get this? I got this through Stuart Wynn site. Stuart NG's how you spell it, Wynn. He's you get it's art books. Probably still got it, but like um I don't know, man. I had to pay like 60 a book at the time. So
Yeah, I was gonna
I don't
say.
know what they are now. And he'll do like different techniques. Like there's actually like Photoshop texturing, like these
Uh,
Kai's
those
power
flames.
tools. Yeah, this texture's like a Kai's power tools. Like it's an older bit, but he works in all sorts of different things. The lighting.
I really it's really just I love the cell shading, the way he did it and mixed with everything. It's just he doesn't just like color, he's cutting into the shapes and then airbrushing where you need to, which obviously I've learned that from you and seen you do that where you don't just color the piece, you cut into the shapes more or less. Am I saying that right? Where you kind of you're cutting into the muscles, you're cutting
Yeah, I mean he's
around
doing it
to
here
form.
like where they need it, but he's not doing it to like a character that doesn't need it, you know?
Right.
So he's only applying that to like muscles and stuff. Look at these cool fucking like skeleton undead creatures and shit. Look at this like vulture right here with little bone arms. Like, "Wah!" Look at this evil little. Hold on, check this out. see if I can. Oh, look at this little parrot, little little
Yeah.
Tweety bird, little fucker. Look at these dudes. I wish he had done a Hellboy. You know, when I think of a Hellboy animated bit, if it didn't look like Mignola's art, this is what I would want. You know,
Oh yeah.
because he's able to get cartoons, but also pull out aggression. Sometimes cartoonists like they can lean on like super aggressive or super cartoony, like Kitty, you know. But
Yeah.
he's able to do both, man. That blend of the two, being able to do both, I don't think that's easy, you know. Like, and you know, if you know me, man, you can see. Oh, I see. Now I'm not sitting around with this shit open, like, let me get draw like Carlos Meglia. What I have done though is over the years I've tried to absorb just the philosophies, you know, and then I've kind of gone my own way. But but I still, man, like once or twice a year, crack open these books and just like, what is this? This is so. Look at these undead warriors, dude. He's just fucking shit up. Now you could say, Rob, it's hard to focus on what to look at here, and I'm like, but the book's 9 by 12.5, so who cares? You can
Yeah.
see everything. If this were a comic like 6 by 9, I get it, but it's 9 by 12. You don't have to like. Where are you spotting blacks? Who gives a shit? Like, you know. There's no one way to make a comic, folks. You know, rules are like half the time they're meant to be learned and they're meant to be broken. You know?
Yeah. It's like that bottom left panel with the old guy where he doesn't have a background. It's just all kind of white. I like that. It's like you have all this going on, and then it just probably he's saying something or singing, like he's got the music notes, so it's probably like or whistling. So it's like you focus on him, nothing else, and then the next scene is like chaos with all the birds coming in.
And
So it's
everything
like
feels alive, like it's actually moving. You
yeah,
know,
and
and that's
the birds out of the panel there.
I get asked often, Rob, do you animate? And I'm like, no. Like I have. I went to college. I did 2D animation. I had my teacher was Jerry Bryce, who was an animator at Disney, and many other things. And I've animated.
You had class with Jerry Bryce too? Me too.
Okay, Brandon. He won't find that funny. What are you talking about? What are you like? Jerry, well, doesn't he won't? It's a joke, Jerry. But he threw me off. But the one thing I learned about animating was I want to animate in one drawing.
Right.
I want it to move in one drawing.
Right.
Like this moves one drawing. If I can
Oh,
get
yeah.
something to move in one drawing, did my job. Save myself 23 other fucking drawings. Right.
I really love how nothing has to stay inside the panels. Like the bird on the left, the green white bird popped out.
Oh,
All
this
these,
would piss off every editor. Like how he just kind of sometimes pops out, you know,
Yeah.
or sometimes like yeah.
or that bird overlaps the panel above it.
Yeah. The lettering semi-transparent. They'd get really angry about that, but like, who cares? Looks fucking dope. I don't know about you, man, but when I see stuff like this is the kind of thing that like I gotta get back to drawing.
Yeah. Oh,
I gotta get back to
100%.
drawing. Right?
100%.
I love this one right here. Like, look at these little like skulls and these undead
Yeah.
dudes again. Look at that. It's got that little spear and shit. Like he's got like I don't know what the fuck that's like a springs in his head. Fuck, I know what that. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you could look at this texture, dude. Like, so this is like, again, this is like one of these like Kai Power Tool style like digital textures that you'd create. Like, there used to be like different like programs that we could create weird 3D materials, and like that's what that is. Like, put right over it.
I'm glad we're looking at this because I have to watercolor a aquatic kind of Mayan looking character tonight and tomorrow. And this is just like super awesome because I'm looking at the way things are textured and colored, and I'm like, man, this just gives me ideas of colors I could use that I wouldn't normally think of. Maybe like some oranges with the tan, and I don't have water doesn't have to be just blue. It could have like the green.
But it isn't blue. It's got algae in it. It's
Yeah.
got rock. It's got bird shit. Like it's probably got sewage from your local city because they're fucking assholes and they dump in the ocean. But like, oh, these little fucking skeleton dudes climbing here, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Protect the portal. We are gonna kill you and get to the portal.
Right.
I wish I knew what it said. All right, we're going through the portal.
When he was at Wildstorm, man, I had just wished that he had been at Todd's place and done a Spawn book. Imagine like an Angela Spawn bit before he lost Angela. Like,
do you own any of his original art?
No. Well, there's one vendor who's been selling stuff, and I was gonna buy some of it, but I talked to a few people first because it seemed too reasonable, the prices. Like $300, $400. I'm like, that seems way too reasonable. And so they bought one of them, and they were mostly just paste ups.
What?
Yeah. Like I think he was doing different bits and pasting up the final board, And so someone has paste ups, but I'm like, I'm not paying $450 for fucking paste up. So
yeah.
No, I wish, I know it is a bummer, but that's why I was like, so if you see that stuff, I don't know. Like
well, let's put it out in the universe that Rob will come across someone in the industry that goes, you know what, man, I got a couple of his pages from when he did the Superman book. You want to buy one? Let's put it out.
Well, I don't have money for it, but if you want to donate one to me, I will trade you. I will trade you art for art. I'll do you a great colored pencil, watercolor, whatever you want piece for a piece of real Carlos Meglia art. I will, because the dude means so much to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's gonna go on the grave right with me. I'm never giving it up. Like okay, so this is this is crazy. This one right here. Let me zoom in. So this particular frame, let me see if I can adjust the focus.
This is like 2 paintings put together plus digital art.
So this is like a painting, right? But this looks like a threshold. Like it's like this right here looks like it's threshold. It might have been a painting that he just threshold it. Like he painted it out and then
right. Yeah, that's
and then just damage it. But he did it so it feels like when trees break up, the leaves break up. Yeah, like you see through them. Like it's so good, but it's like it's so simple. But you don't normally see that level of that kind of thinking. But some people might find that broken. I'm like, it works perfect. I think it works perfect.
What if he was still alive? He's like, yeah, I did that on accident and shit just worked.
Thank you for putting it in the book. So I now know.
Right.
Yeah. And then the last panel. Look at this. Oh, she's pretty too. Look at that. Look at that booty. You're wrong. He's drawing a butt. Fuck off. It's pretty.
They went from like Mayan to wait. Oh.
No, that's the front of it. It's that temple from the front of the book.
Yeah.
This is just the first half. So this is the first half. There is a second tome. I do have it. If you like this video and you would like to see me cover the second tome, let me know and we'll do another one. But you gotta comment below, folks. We gotta build the engagement.
Share. Let us know.
Yeah,
let us know.
Brandon, you would like to see it. Now I'm not gonna let Brandon see it unless we do another video. So
you son of a bitch.
That's right.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Brandon, do you have any comments or questions about?
I was hoping at the end, which I'm sure there isn't, but I was hoping at the end they would show some of like his pencils or painting. How sometimes with there's hardcovers.
But Brandon, if you folks want, if you like and share, I do have this, which is the art of Carlos Meglia. This is like a $200 book. It's a $200 book, Brandon.
How thick is it? Show me the thickness.
Not that thick, but thick enough. Like.
That's
decent.
Good. That was 90 pages.
Decent. Let me see here. I don't want to give it away. Let me see. No, it's not numbered. It's not numbered, but it's got lots of stuff in there, Brandon. It's got lots of stuff.
Show me one page. Just show me one page. Just give me
a
little taste. Give me a little taste.
Little taste. Here you go.
Give me a little.
Here you go.
You son of a bitch.
There you go, Brandon. I gave you 2 pages. I gave you 2 pages. What?
I want that book to catch fire right now. I want the only.
How about that? You want 2 more pages? How about that?
I could translate that for you if you'd like.
It says Rob's
an asshole.
Asshole. Yeah, Rob's an asshole. I'll give you something real. Give me a second. Let me give you something real. So you can kind of like here you go. I'll give you this one.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
So that's pencils and that's hand painted.
I do watercolor. I used to do acrylic, but I wasn't good. I've been trying to do better at watercolor. I could watercolor for the next 40 years and still wouldn't be able to duplicate some of those textures.
Look,
And
I'm not knocking Simon Bisley. I'm not knocking any of the guys you know from heavy metal, right? This is better. Like, I'm just telling you right now, this is better. This is better.
yeah.
This is better.
Ugh.
So, all right, Brad. Carlos Meglia, Canari. Get yourself the 2 tomes, whatever it costs. Get it, and like, share the video. Tell your friends about us. Blah 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 blah. See you soon, Brandon. Ready to go?